What's up, guys? It's TechnoViking23 coming to you today with some Raid Shadow Legends. We're actually here on the resurrected free-to-play account. Not going to get into that too much on this video. I'll do a separate video talking about that a little bit later this week. But what I wanted to actually come on and talk to you guys about today is this new fusion champion that is going to be dropping, Bivald of the Thorn. It's going to be a new Sacred Order Spirit HP legendary champion. It's going to be a fragment fusion, just like the last couple we've had here in the game. I'll put his infographic up so you guys can check him out. And I'm not going to go into the kit too much here, obviously, because we don't really have numbers on this. We don't have the amount of books that he's going to take. I think what's going on with Plarium right now is since they're getting their new studio sort of up and running, I think they moved to Poland. They're obviously still dealing with what's going on in Ukraine, and I imagine it's probably tough for a lot of them to try to get back to work some kind of normal schedule. When they do the normal traditional fusions, that usually means they have to create a bunch of additional champions. So usually you have to fuse the 4 rares into the epics. So it's like 4 new epics, or sometimes they do one of the same epic all across the board and 4 of the same rares, but it's usually they either have to create 5 new champions or like 16 new champions or however many. So I think what they're doing is they're just sticking with the fragment fusions for right now because it's less intensive on their resources. Their assets they still have to use to put content into the game. So I think we're going to see fragment fusions for a little while until they get back fully going with their development. That said, I'm seeing a lot of people say this guy is amazing. Maybe it's just that I've gotten so late in the game that champions like this just do not really appeal to me much anymore. But if you look at the guy's kit, he's basically a Provoke champion. And the one thing that stands out to me is that he can place the Provoke debuff even if he hits a weak hit. So it's almost like he's got that Nether Spider, I think it's the Affinity Breaker set, built into his kit, which is kind of cool. But at the same time, really all this guy does is Provoke. He does have a little bit of a leech and some strengthen and shield utility here, but I mean, this just seems so underwhelming to me for a legendary champion. And again, maybe this has to do with where I'm at in the game. Most of the fusions, the most recent ones, I think I pulled Nari the Lucky just because I thought I could use him in Hydra. I've left everybody else in the portal. Opardon's in the portal. Gaius is still in the portal until I see whether or not this supposed bomb meta takes off in Arena, because every time we hear about bombs in Arena, they say it's going to be the new meta, and then it never happens. So I'm not going to waste resources on the guy yet. I know a lot of people have built him, and he looks kind of fun, but I'm just going to wait and see, because so far I haven't really seen him at all on Arena defense, because obviously Arena is in a weird state right now, but I don't really use too many of the fusion champs. A lot of them are still in the fusion portal. Like on my main account, I think I use Versolf quite a bit. I'm trying to think of the last major fusion. I use Mother Sibel a lot and some content, but really I don't use too many of the fusion champions at this point. So you go through this guy's kit. He's got all this Provoke in there. He's got the single target Provoke. He's got an attack all enemies 2 times with a chance to land that Provoke, and then the leech. Got some interesting utility here. The problem is really when you're looking at like the weak hits, even though he can't weak hit, that means he's not going to be able to critical hit, even if he does get that bonus of not landing a weak hit. And he's a Spirit champion. He's an HP champion, which they're usually pretty easy to build, but I don't see this guy being a huge damage dealer. He's going to be more of a support champion, and that's why I'm totally underwhelmed by his kit, if I'm being completely honest. I don't even think I would go for this guy in my free-to-play, if I'm being completely truthful. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to put up a graphic from IME Love. Really great site to go and look for champ builds and just look at champ kits. And it's basically going to be a list of all the different champions in the game that have Provoke within their kit. We're going to go with an AoE Provoke because this guy, he does have the single target, but he's also got the AoE, but that's kind of what I'm going to compare him to. So we look at the legendary list, which is this guy's a legendary champion. Angar is number 1 on the list. I love Angar. He's I think a very underrated Void champion. He's helped me clear Doom Tower so many times with his kit. I think he's a much better champion than this guy. Drexthar Blood Twin, free-to-play champ you can get out of the Bazaar, I think is a much better champion than this guy. Ignatius, definitely a much better champ than this guy. Iron Brago, former Fusion, definitely a much better champ than this guy. Coronar, another champion I use all over the place. especially in Doom Tower for that Provoke again. Him and Angar, I kind of run them together on the Siffy wave, so they just completely lock out the double Siffy or the double Roto, so they can't take any turns. Chris the Ageless, I don't think you even need to talk about him there. That's not even a comparison. Martyr, much better champion. Molly, much better champion. Sigmund, the high shield, I don't really know because I haven't used him much. He's another fusion that's just kind of sat in my vault, and I actually have 2 of them because I pulled an extra one. Solus, much better. Tormund, yeah, God, much better. And here's number 12, Visix the Unbowed. Or Unbowed, I'm sorry, not the Unbowed. Free-to-play champion you get 9 months into the game. Void Legendary that they buffed. She's really good now. She's going to be one of the main reasons I don't think this guy is that great. So we go into the epics. Burgoth, the Malformed, he's kind of trash. Just card the Sigils is pretty good. Grimskin is okay. Prundar's decent. Rockbreaker's decent. Seneschal I'm not super familiar with. Taragi the Frog, Umbral Enchantress, and Vogoth I would all probably use before I would use this legendary champion. And that's why this guy I think is just so underwhelming to me. Because we have so much better options, and some of them are epic champions, and some of them are, you know, legendaries, obviously, and that's what you kind of have to compare this guy to. But the thing is, too, you got to build this guy with a bunch of accuracy, and then still hope that he hits that Provoke debuff. Now, the cool thing with Visix is, of course, you obviously still have to put accuracy into her, but if you look at her single combat, which is an odd name since it attacks all enemies, but this places a Provoke debuff for 1 turn, and then gives her a shield. Places the Provoke. So as long as your accuracy is high enough, you're going to place the Provoke. You know, unless you get that stupid 3% resist that exists in the game. So that automatically, to me, makes her better than him, because you know you're going to get it, you know, 97% of the time, I guess, or whatever. And she's a free-to-play champion that everyone's going to get. You don't have to do all the work to get a fusion. And I think, you know, the rest of her kit's pretty solid with the turn meter reduction, the decreased speed, the ally protection. So, like, I just think right off the bat, Visix brings a lot more to the table than this new fusion guy. I think even somebody like Drexstar, even though he has kind of a lower Provoke rate on his ability, I think he brings so much more to the table than this guy. And these are both champions you can get pretty easily as long as you're just playing the game. Obviously, you get Visix at 9 months. Drexstar, you do have to do 3v3, but I think he's totally worth it to get with the 100 tokens. And obviously, we talked about some of the other legendaries, you know, Angar, Koronar, etc. And I just don't see it with this guy. I just don't see it. If you guys see something that I'm missing, please let me know in the comments. But I've seen some content creators talking about how good it's going to be. Now, I will say this, and this is what I usually say on the fusions. If you're a newer player, if you're a mid-game player, and you have the resources to try to go after it, probably a good idea just to do it, especially with the fragment champions. They're usually a little bit easier to get, and you never know, you may pull a duplicate down the road and have somebody for your faction guardians. But again, his main utility here seems to be Provoke, and Provoke is a very, very good debuff, but it's only usable really to me in Arena and the Doom Tower. And this is not a guy I think I'd be bringing into the Arena to take up a slot for somebody better. Maybe on Arena defense, but even then, I don't know. You can't Provoke the Hydra, so that's kind of useless. But I think, you know, the only place you'd really use this guy is maybe against the Magma Dragon. But other than that, I just don't see the value at all of this fusion. Maybe I'm missing something, and as a later game player, I'm probably not going to go for it. This will probably be the first like hard pass fusion for me in a while, unless I can just do it kind of like AFK. Like the last couple fragment fusions I've been able to get just AFK. It hasn't really been a big deal for my account. So, and then they just sit in the portal to use for CVC for extra points. But yeah, I just I don't know what I'm missing with this guy, but I think there's just too many other epic champions and legendary champions that are just much better at doing the Provoke and also doing a lot of other stuff that's better than this guy's kit. So let me know what you guys think down below. Like I said, if you're a newer player, mid-game player, and you don't have a Provoke champion, probably a good idea to chase after this one. But I think if you're a later game player, you already have pulled a bunch of Provoke champions. I don't know. It's a hard pass for me. I'm not telling you what to do, but I would strongly think about whether or not you want to waste resources going after this guy. You know, again, I'm not telling you not to do it or to do it. I just think, you know, put a little thought process into it, because I'm really personally just not seeing the value of this fusion. I think it's actually one of the worst fusions we've had in a while. And again, tell me if you think I'm wrong. Maybe I'm missing something here. Maybe I'm missing some synergy with somebody, but I'm just like really not super interested in this guy. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. As always, hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks as always for watching, and I will see you again next time.